Very pleasant morning, dear students. Welcome to English class. As you all know, we have already started the lesson number 9, Madam Rides the Bus by Wali Khannan. Wali Khannan's pseudo name was R.S. Krishnasamy, and he has written almost all his writings in the name Wali Khannan. In the previous class, we have seen Wali Amais. The pastime favorite subject was to stand in front of her door and watching outside how the people are moving in the bazaar and how the vehicles are running. Especially she caught sight of a bus which was moving every hour from a village to a nearby town. And she had a great desire of traveling in the bus. She wanted to take a journey in the bus, and she couldn't take a step because since she was a small little child, she cannot travel all by alone. But she wants to travel, or she wants to take a journey. She wants to ride the bus alone, and she doesn't like to have the company of anybody because she wanted to invent certain kinds of things by going alone. Okay, she wants to ride the bus, and whenever she wants to go by this bus, she just wanted to go alone. Okay, let us come to the next paragraph on page number 118. All of you must open your textbooks, the first page on page 118. Over many days and months, Wali listened carefully to conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly used to use the bus, and she also asked a few discreet questions. Some careful questions she asked here and there. Too many days passed, and a couple of days are gone, and a few months were also passed, and she started picking the information from her neighbors. In her neighborhood, some of her neighbors and other people were having a conversation that they had already gone by this bus to the next town in order to do shopping or to go on a different reasons. Okay, people already shuffling from this village to a nearby town by taking this bus. Every 1 hour, every single hour, the bus shuttles from village to a town. So she slowly started collecting the information. Very carefully she used to ask the information. And people are discussing. The neighbors and other people were discussing how they had gone by this bus. They used the bus several times. What is the ticket fare? And how long the journey would take to the next town. Every single point of things she just wanted to collect it from there. And she overheard. She did not ask them directly, but she overheard when the neighbors and other people were discussing this. And this way she picked up various small details about the bus journey. So she picked some information from them, and especially the bus journey, regarding the bus journey. The town was 6 miles from her village. Okay, what was the distance from her village to a town? It was some 6 miles of distance. The fare was 30 pice one way. One-way ticket costs 30 pice. Two-way ticket 60 pice. Okay, the ticket fare also she must know because she has to spend out of her own pocket. So she wants to know the ticket fare. Now she came to know that the ticket fare is just 30 pice that it costs, and which is almost nothing at all. Actually 30 pice or 60 pice overall the journey that takes or that can be spent on is nothing to Wali Amai. Because Wali Amai's one and only favorite thing is to ride on the bus all by alone. And she heard one well-dressed man say, but to Wali, who scarcely saw that much money from 1 month to the next, it seemed a fortune. Okay, she heard one well-dressed man say, but to Wali. One well-dressed personality, a dignified man, a gentleman, said this information to Wali, and Wali heard it. And 30 pice or 60 pice of money is nothing to Wali, but getting 60 pice at her home from her mother or parents is a great task for her. She cannot steal. She will not steal. She cannot even ask that she wanted to go to other town. by bus all by alone. She dare not to say to her parent, to her mother. Okay, so she can't even open her mind to her mother in order to get some 60 pice. Who scarcely saw that much money from one month to the next? It seemed a fortune. Getting 60 pice of little bit of amount, the little okay, sum of amount itself is a great fortune to her. Once she gets that 60 pice, okay, she can easily take a ride on the bus. And on reaching town, if she stayed in her seat and paid another 30 pice, she could return home on the same bus. This meant that she could take 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45 and be back by about 2:45. What was her plan, you know? She wants to collect some 60 pice of money from her mother in a genuine way, and she wanted to move from her town, from her village at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it would be taking some 1:45 after she reaches the town, and there she can spend some time, and again she can take up every 1 hour it has bus now. Again at 2 o'clock she can start over there, and 2:45 she can come by back to her backward journey will be taking another 45 minutes. 1 o'clock to 2:45 her journey will be finished. Okay, on and on went her thoughts as she calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned. So what she has done? She calculated, recalculated, and she started planning her journey. Okay, and started replanning also. She was making certain changes to her plan, and she has already replanned her journey to the next town. Well, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving of the village and turning into the main highway when a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus," and a tiny hand was raised commandingly. One spring afternoon, she just wanted to leave the house and go by or ride on the bus. She wanted to get into the bus and move on to the next town. Okay, and the bus has come and it was about to leave the village by the time one small little tiny hand stopped the bus. How did she stop the bus? Saying, "Stop the bus, stop the bus." The bus driver stopped it because since the child stretched her arm and stopping the bus might be caused the driver a little sympathy, and he had stopped the bus. The bus slowed down to a crawl, and the conductor, sticking his head out of the door and said, "Hurry then, tell whoever it is to come quickly. It's me," shouted Wali. The bus conductor, he had sticking his head out in the sense, put his head outside the window, and he was calling out the people, calling out the passengers who had gone late. Who was the passenger stopped the bus? That's Wali. She said like this, "Hurry then, tell whoever it is to come quickly." She says that, "It's me," shouted Wali. "So I'm the one who's gonna ride the bus. I'm the one who has to get on. What I need to do? I need to get on the bus." By now the bus had come to the stop, and the conductor said, "Oh really? You don't say so." "Yes, I simply have to go to town," said Wali, still standing outside the bus, "and here is my money." After she get on the bus, she boarded at the place, the footboard, and she had showed some coins to the conductor in order to get the ticket. She says like this, okay, she showed some coins and asked him to give her the ticket. And by now the bus had come to stop, and the conductor said, "Oh really, you don't say so." "Yes, I simply have to go to the town." And okay. She showed him some coins. She showed the money, some 30 pice money she had given it to the conductor in order to get the bus. Okay, but first you must get on the bus," said the conductor. She was still standing at the footboard, so the conductor asked this girl to get into the bus and occupy her seat. And she stretched out a hand to help her up. Okay, the conductor stretched his hand forward. Okay, then the girl got in. Never mind, she said, I can get on by myself. See? Still, she is a small little child. She has not given her hand to anybody. She says that I can manage, I can come in. Instead of giving her hand to the conductor and take his help, she herself got into the bus and she got in. I can get on by myself, you don't have to help me. She doesn't like to take the help of the conductor. Some children or some elderly people also, they are very independent. They don't like to depend on anyone. Okay, so the same kind of independent nature we can see with Wali Ammai. The conductor was a jolly sort, fond of joking. Oh, please don't be angry with me, my fine madam. So she was acting like a well-matured personality of a young woman. She is pretending like a young woman. The way of nature of Wali Kannan seemed to be a young woman's nature, so that's why he started calling her as madam. The conductor, what kind of man was the conductor? He was a jolly type of personality and he fond of joking. He started passing the satires upon this girl, saying that you are a madam. Oh, please don't be angry with me, ma'am, my fine ma'am. He said, here, have a seat right up there in front. Everybody move aside, please. Make way for madam. What did he say? Hey, all of you, please make way for madam. She will come in and occupy. Okay, the conductor showed her a seat in the bus. It was the slack time of the day. Slack time in the sense? Free time. Nobody is there. A time when there is not much work to do. And there were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. On that day, there were no much passengers on the bus. There were some 6 to 7 passengers were there. They were all looking at Wali and laughing with the conductor. Wali was overcome with the shyness. Wali Ammai was a shy type of girl. And when all the other passengers were laughing at her, she started showing her shyness and avoiding everyone's eyes. She was not at all paying attention towards anybody's jocular manner towards this girl, and she was not taking a part in it. Okay, she just ignored all of them and she did not pay good attention towards the people on the bus. And she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. She preferred to sit in an empty seat. One empty seat was there, she just wanted to sit over there. May we start now, madam? The conductor asked, smiling. So why the conductor is calling this Wali Ammai as madam? Because she was acting like a young woman. So when the conductor was stretching his hand forward in order to help this girl, she just denied. She doesn't like to take the help of the conductor. She said that she can manage herself. Okay, when he had encountered this kind of manners from this girl, he started calling her as madam satirically. So then he blew. See, he's taking the permission of this madam to ride the bus, and then he started, he had just called out the driver to start the bus. Then he blew his whistle twice. Blow, blow, blow. Blowing the whistle, blew the whistle, blown. The whistle has been blown. Then he blew the whistle twice. Twice he blew the whistle and the bus moved forward with a roar. Okay. So with roaring, the bus started moving forward. It was a new bus. Its outside painted a gleaming white with some green stripes along the sides. See, what was the color of the bus? It was a white bus. Some green stripes were drawn along sides. Inside, the overhead bars shone like silver. Okay, inside, the overhead bars were shining with silver. Directly in front of Wali, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. Right in front of Wali's seat, there was a beautiful clock which is kept over there, and the blowers of the wind were also there on either side. There was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and luxurious. How were the seats of the bus? They are very luxurious and very soft. Wali devoured everything with her eyes. What does it mean by devouring? Taking something with lots of satisfaction. The word devour actually we use it when we are drinking or eating something. But here the devour is used for narrating the way that she has taken the atmosphere in the bus. The bus atmosphere, she liked it very much. Why, you know? The silvery lines or the silvery bars, as well as the clock which is fixed in the bus, and these things were looking nice. Okay, Wali devoured everything with her eyes, but when she started to look outside, she started looking outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. The lower part of her window was covered by canvas blinds. There were some canvas blinds were there, and it was covering the lower part of the window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. Actually, outside the scene was not properly visible to Wali. So that's why what did she do? She has widened the blinds and she was peering through the blinds. Okay, she stood up on the seat. She couldn't do anything. She had to stand up and peer through those window blinds. The bus was now going along the bank of a canal. In which direction the bus was moving? Towards the canal. The road was very narrow. Actually, as we all know that the village roads are not so wide. They are very, very narrow. On one side there was the canal, and beyond it palm trees. There was a canal. Beyond the canal there were palm trees, and the grassland was there. Distant mountains can be seen, and the blue sky. The sky is appearing blue. On the other hand, or on the other side, was a deep ditch, and then acres and acres of green fields were there. Green everywhere as far as the eye could see. So everywhere she could see the green ocean. Oh, it was all so wonderful. The blue sky, the green fields, the brown mountains, okay, and all these things added a nice picture to her scenery. Okay, it's a great scenery. It was such a feast to her eyes, isn't it? And oh, it was all so wonderful. Suddenly she was startled by a voice. Okay, and until then she was looking outside through the window, and somebody started speaking. "Listen, child," said the voice, "you should not stand like that. Sit down." So in the running bus, you children are not supposed to stand. Since she is a small little child, she is not supposed to stand in the bus, but she was standing and peering through the window. Sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. Actually, until then, she had heard somebody was speaking to her. Who was that? She couldn't make out. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her. Actually, one of the passengers, not the driver, not the conductor, scolded her, pitched up their voice. One of the gentlemen and an elderly personality who was one of the passengers of the bus, okay, raised his voice upon this girl in order to, because why he had raised his voice? Because he was expecting the safety and the sound traveling of a girl. That's why. So it was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned. He was very much concerned about this girl's safety. But she was annoyed by his attention. But Wali Amma did not like if anyone raises their voice. Okay, it was such a gruff voice. She doesn't like to accept the warning sign given by this man. Okay, the remaining part of this lesson will be continued in the next class. Until then, goodbye. And you need to read the textbook and every single corner of this passage you need to learn, because the way the bus was being described, the way she got into the bus, all these things pinpointedly you have to learn right away from textbook. Thank you, children.